Blade stock analysis. Okay guys, so I have another futuristic SPAC company for you, and this one is going to be very interesting because it kind of piggybacks off of my video that I posted earlier about EHang, the urban air mobility company based in China. So what happened is that Blade is apparently one of the largest urban air mobility companies in America. They have basically a air taxi program which has already 200,000 users, and they are doing a reverse SPAC merger with Experience Investment, ticker symbol EXPC. So let's get right into it, guys. So let's head over to that press release. So this was posted on Business Wire. It says Blades to be listed on NASDAQ, creating the only publicly traded global urban air mobility company. So what we're going to do is go over this press release a little bit, then take you over to Blade, talk a little bit more about its service, and then go through the investor presentation, kind of give you guys my future price target. So let's quickly go over this. It says Blade is a global urban air mobility platform utilizing a technology-powered asset-light model with unrivaled brand recognition. And it's to become publicly listed on the NASDAQ through a SPAC merger, and that is supposed to be completed by the first half of 2021. So according to this press release, the company will be valued at around $825 million. And as I currently showed you earlier, if you take a look back here on Robinhood, we can see that currently the SPAC price is $10.32. So that's basically, at most SPACs are priced at around $10 before the mergers are complete. So basically, if you're buying this company, you're able to get in on the ground floor. Really won't get much cheaper than this. Obviously, it could dip lower, but $10 was what the stock price starts at for most SPACs. So as you can see here, it says a transaction to provide $400 million in gross proceeds, and that is by the $10 per share kind of SPAC where it starts at. So what is going on with this company, and why is urban air mobility such a huge growth industry? Well, if you guys saw my previous video on EHang, that stock basically doubled since I posted that video. And the reason is that I read a research report from Morgan Stanley, and it says, are flying cars preparing to take off? And it says that the urban air mobility marketplace could be a $1.5 trillion market by 2040. And according to Henry Ford, he said, mark my words, a combination of airplane and motor car is coming, guys. So, Henry Ford, 100 years, earlier basically called this, and we knew that this was going to happen because there's just simply too much traffic. So as you can see here, this is a title look at how Morgan Stanley believes that urban air mobility will grow. And here we are right now, guys. So once again, this is another first inning type company. I do my best to give you guys these companies that I think have the potential to grow. Obviously, we know about Apple stock and Netflix stock and stuff like that. But what I'm looking at is I'm looking at companies that are going to grow throughout this decade. So it's just 2020 as I'm posting this video, and I'm looking for companies that are going to grow along with kind of futuristic growth trends. And why is urban air mobility going to be such a big thing? Well, the key is that it's traffic, guys. So I don't know about you. I don't know exactly where you guys live, if you live in a major city or you live in a town. But me, I'm from Washington, D.C. personally. And, if you guys are from the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, you guys are very aware of Beltway traffic. And whether maybe you live in New York City or San Francisco, maybe some of you guys live in other countries. I've traveled quite a bit all over the world, and traffic is a huge problem. So we're talking about in Asia, we're talking about in places in, of course, the United States, North America. We're talking about even traffic jams in Africa and things like that. And it's just that it's taking a lot longer to get to some destinations than when compared with urban air mobility. And the reason why is simply because it's the 21st century, guys, yet we have gridlock traffic all over the world. So if you take a look at LA is some of the worst traffic there is in the United States. Some people experience 3-hour plus traffic jams all the time. So what we're kind of trying to figure out is there a better way to handle the traffic problems? And this is exactly this problem that Blade solves. So as you can see here, you take a look at their 4 key lines of business. They have short distance travel, so that's flights between 60 and 100 miles in distance, and that is between $595 and $795 per seat. or they actually have a monthly commuter pass, so kind of like a Metro pass. They have something a monthly. They're going to have BLDE Airport, that's flights between New York airports, and dedicated lounges, and that's about $195 per seat, or $95 per seat with the annual purchase pass. Then they're going to have BLDE Meta Mobility. It's the largest transport of human organs in the north east United States, reducing the costs and transport time for hospitals. And then they also have international joint ventures. So they recently expanded in India. We all know India has some of the worst traffic in the world, and Asia has a lot of traffic problems because a lot of Asians flock to the cities looking for work, and then that creates massive traffic jams during rush hour. So the really interesting thing about BLDE is that, like I said, it's run by a founder, which is another bullish signal for most stocks. And he said that ground mobility has been radically transformed by software and battery technology, as evidenced by the rapid adoption of electric vehicles. The next battle is in the air. This transaction provides the capital for BLDE to profitably expand its urban air mobility business using conventional rotorcraft today, while providing a seamless transition to eVTOL aircraft tomorrow. So that's electric vehicles transporting on land as well, guys. So basically, let's talk a little bit more about this company, and I'm going to show you guys some of the products, and we're going to get into the transaction detail. Okay, guys, so here we are. We're on the website. The website is flyblade.com, and as you can see here, you're basically able to transport all over the world using the air. So the good thing about BLDE is that they have an app, and there's already 200,000 people that are using this app already. And as you can see here, we could take a look at one of the helicopters and things like that. Now, interesting thing about BLDE, and that makes it very similar to, I would say, a company like Uber, is that BLDE doesn't actually own any of these helicopters. They use a third-party service, so they're kind of like the middleman. They're basically connecting you to third-party helicopter owners that want to make money, but they provide the software and the technology allowing you to book and things like that. And they also have monthly membership plans for repeat customers. Now, as you guys saw, some of those prices that I mentioned earlier, chart usually a BLDE flight, if you're not like a monthly annual member, it's going to cost at least $200. So obviously this isn't for, I would say, the average Joe right away, but I'm expecting as more and more people become comfortable with urban air mobility, I expect prices to stabilize a bit. But right now, this is basically for people that, you know, I would say people that definitely earn a lot of disposable income, and where, you know, spending an hour or 2 hours in traffic just isn't worth their time. They can just spend the money and get to where they want to go. Okay, so if we head over here to the investors page, we can see that there's a investors presentation. So let's go over that presentation. Okay, guys, this is a pretty long presentation, so I'm just going to go over the key points here, and then we're going to wrap things up with a price prediction. So as you can see here, the company was founded by Rob Wiesenthal, and this is his management team. And like I said, guys, they have plenty of experience. This guy, he used to work for major companies like Warner Music Group and was the former CFO of Sony. So he definitely has a lot of corporate experience. And the fact that this company is run by a founder is another plus sign. Usually founder-led companies, we're talking about companies like Amazon, Tesla, and things like that. They usually tend to outperform non-founder-led companies. So as you can see here, it says BLDE is an end-to-end urban mobility platform leveraging capital, infrastructure, customer operator technologies, and already has 200,000 plus users. And the company is basically, I think it's grossly undervalued. So right now, if you were to take a look at it, the company is basically just under $1 billion company. And one of the interesting things is that one of the key investors in the company is actually Airbus. Airbus is a major competitor to Boeing. So as we can see here, let's talk a little bit more about how the company is going to work. It's a very asset-light business model, just simply basically like Uber. It's giving you the ability to basically you know, find a flight that's going to basically allow you to skip traffic and things like that. And this is the future of, I would say, air taxis. So Uber is definitely on the same playing field. I actually own, full disclosure, I own Uber stocks, my largest position, and they are going to be doing the same things as well. They've already been working on air taxi technology, guys. But the interesting thing about air taxis is that this is definitely not even the first inning. This is like around the first pitch or so with air taxis. We won't see many air taxis until probably about 2023, 2024. So I would say a lot of these companies, you're definitely going to want to hold these companies for multi-years, because a lot of people right now, I probably talked to at least almost just around a dozen people asking them if they would fly an air taxi, and most people would say no. But things are going to change because traffic, as with the sale of all these EV vehicles, traffic is going to get even worse and worse and worse. And I think once people take air taxis and realize how much time they save and how much easier it is, I think more people are just going to kind of make that switch. So as we could take a look here, the company has some very interesting revenue goals. So in 2019, they did about 33 million in revenue, and they're projected to do around 400 million in revenue by 2024, guys. So a lot of upside there. That's basically over almost more than 10x revenue in just 5 years or so. And like I mentioned earlier, it says the global traffic congestion is a problem, and it's getting worse. So it says US consumers are spending more time in traffic each year, and it says it increases the commute time around 45 to 65%. So let's take a look at some of these numbers. So I don't know about you guys personally, I used to always take public transportation when I used to work downtown in DC, but even then it takes a lot of time to get to places. And this is the 21st century. Sometimes if you travel or things like that, or you're in a different city, and like if you're in LA or something like that and you're sitting in traffic, you just keep constantly thinking to yourself, like, this has to be a better way. And I was just doing some quick math, guys. So as you can see here, people in Mumbai spend about 243 hours every year sitting in traffic, and in Tokyo it's 149 hours. So let's say you live in one of these countries where maybe you spend like an hour each way going and coming to work sitting in traffic. Well, that's 2 hours a day, and then in 20 work days a month, that's 40 hours spent in traffic per month times 12. That's 480 hours spent sitting in traffic, just in 1 year, and that's just 1 hour each way. So how many, that's literally, 20 days spent just sitting in traffic. So what could you do with those 20 days, if you had that time back? You could learn another language, you could start a business, you could spend more time with your kids, you could, you take online courses, you could learn to play the guitar. So this company is all about giving you that time back and making just this whole global traffic problem, as you can see here, basically just fly over the problem instead of kind of try to wiggle through it. That's what this company is going to do. And here's a couple of case studies. As you can see here, if you sit here, if you're driving and things like that, the total potential traffic delay for going from Manhattan to JFK is like an hour to 2.5 hours, but with Blade it's just 30 minutes total. So you're saving just so much time. Here's another example. Philadelphia, from NYC to Philadelphia would take just about 3 hours, using Blade just around an hour. So you're just saving a substantial amount of time. And this company is obviously targeted around kind of passengers at airports. Obviously, a lot of wealthy people fly into JFK and they don't want to sit in traffic. They want to go to their nice Manhattan condos and things like that. But this company, I think, has potential to be in a lot of different cities. So this is just the beginning, guys. So now let's talk a little bit more about the financials. As you can see here, just take a look. The company has an app. I actually downloaded the app. It's very intuitive and it works pretty cool. And that's how the technology works. It just is basically mostly a software company that is going to connect you to where you want to go. And you can take a look here at some of the lounges. Most of the Blade locations, they have a lounge like where you can sit down there and get something to drink or get something to eat and kind of hang out while you're waiting for your air taxi. And as you can see here, it says Blade is the #1 market share in New York City by the seat helicopter market since 2015, and they're one of the most kind of forward-thinking companies, I would think, in North America. They already have some presence in India, so they're already looking towards international expansion. As you can see here, they're looking at Japan, Indonesia, and Canada. And as I mentioned, it says Blade does not actually operate any of the flights. It doesn't own any aircrafts. It's basically the third party like Uber to just kind of connect you to which helicopter or which air taxi you want to use and help you get to your destination. So as we talk a little bit more about this, right now, not all of Blade's kind of air taxis are electric, but the whole goal for this company is to basically be an electric company in the future. So we talk about electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft with zero emissions, and this will be a game changer, guys. So this is what kind of Blade is moving towards, and as you can see here, lots of other companies are doing the same thing. We've got Boeing, Airbus, Joby Aviation. Joby Aviation is working in cohorts with Uber. So all of these companies are basically investing a ton of money in electric air taxis. Even Amazon just picked up a new startup. They're investing in auto robo taxis and things like that. So big companies know that the future is going to be, a lot of it is going to be dealing with air taxis in the air. As more and more cars are sold, even electric cars, we're still going to have traffic jams, guys. So this is solving a huge problem. And so, guys, let's talk a little bit more about the let's go over this really quickly. So as you can see here, these are just some of the brands that are partnered with Blade. As you can see here, they have pretty big deals with many companies. So we're talking about beverage companies, so alcohol sellers, Uber, T-Mobile, Sony, Vice, Disney, many transportation companies, Mercedes-Benz, Cadillac, American Airlines, and this list goes on and on. So this is a legit company that has a lot of press coverage as well. So now let's take a look at some of these. Okay, so as you can see here, it says Blade is positioned for leadership in the global marketplace, and the global opportunity for kind of the electric vertical takeoff and landing platform is around a $674 billion opportunity in 2027. So like I mentioned, this is a very, very forward thinking company. And the good thing is that the company continues to grow. So it started off with just around 1,200 passengers in 2014, and pre-COVID it hit 37,000 passengers. So obviously a lot of people weren't traveling due to the whole pandemic situation, but with the whole vaccines coming out, I think things are going to bounce back to normal probably by 2022. So now let's take a look at some of the projected revenue. Obviously, you guys want to know how much money this company is going to make. So the revenue is projected once they kind of hit into, those electrical air taxis. They're not going to be using those up until 2025, but it looks like 2025, I've seen this in a lot of presentations, that seems to be a key year where I think the electrical movement is really going to be picking up a lot of steam. So as you can see here, the company is projected to have around $875 million in revenue by 2026, and putting that at a conservative price sales ratio of like 10 to 15, that would put the company that at a market cap of around 10 billion to 10 to 15 billion or something like that, right around in that range. So right now, basically, the company has around 10 to 15x upside. It's really interesting that the projected revenue is right around where it's actually valued at in terms of the SPAC deal. And the company plans to turn profitable as well back in 2024. So now let's talk a little bit more about the actual SPAC agreement. So as you can see here, this is the detailed transaction breakdown. So the total number of shares outstanding will be around 82.5 million. And SPAC holders, that's investors in the ticker symbol EXPC, will have around 33% of the company. So guys, right now this is the ground floor to get in on this company. It's going to turn basically electric within the next 4 to 5 years or so, like that. But I think this is the future, guys, and it has 200,000 users. It's a really solid company, and I think it has a lot of long-term growth, guys. So basically this company, you're able to get on the ground floor, and I'm going to be investing heavily, very heavily, in urban air mobility. I've been in traffic jams myself. It's just so frustrating and things like that, and this is a solution that it can really catch on. And I like that the company is expanding in India as well. India has a huge population, can really benefit from this service. So as you can see here, one of the examples in India is, it says if you're driving from Mumbai to Shirdi, it would take 5 to 8 hours, but with a flight it's only 45 minutes, guys. So this company's solving a real problem. So now I actually checked on Robinhood. I didn't see any options for this company, so all I did was I just bought the stock outright. So the ticker symbol is EXPC, and this will change its ticker symbol to BLDE, Blade, sometime in the first half of next year, guys. So I think this company has a lot of upside, and that's why I wanted to kind of feature it on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll give you guys a future price target. I think this is definitely a 10x company, and also it is a 5-letter name, guys. You know how much, if you guys are following my channel for a while, you know how much I like companies that have 5 letters. We're talking about companies like Tesla and Apple. I think 5 letters is a good sweet spot, and it's just easy to remember, easy to spell, and the name Blade can easily be, kind of branded like we see a lot of people have branded names like Apple and Tesla. They know exactly what they represent. So short, easy to remember company, founder led, and basically selling at around $10 pre-merger, guys. I'm in. I've already bought some shares, and I plan to add to my position over time, and we'll see what happens with the stock. But I think a future price projection for Blade would be $100 a share. I think this company definitely has 10x upside. So that's it until next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash the like button if you enjoy my content, and subscribe to future videos. You guys can also, if you want to chat about some stocks and see which stocks I'm buying real time, be sure to check out my private Discord chat, link in the description. And also be sure to sign up to my daily stock watch newsletter. You can find out which stocks I'm watching Monday through Friday. You can get that for free. Just go to the link in the description, or go to investortrip.com/newsletter. So that's it until next time, guys. Take care.